Before I had PohakuHealing, my shoulder was in really bad condition. The first time I dislocated it, I was playing soccer, it came totally out, and I had to get it back put in a hospital. And then I dislocated after that surfing. I dislocated it in bed, in my car. It was basically completely loose from the socket. After the 4th or 5th time I dislocated, I got surgery, reconstructive surgery. And they tried to repair it, but I dislocated again after that about half a year later after the surgery. It was kind of like mentally draining having this kind of injury too, because I used to surf, I used to, play sports. I stopped playing basketball after I had the injury. I couldn't do a lot of things that I, loved to do when I was so young. When I met Daniel and I had the PohakuHealing, I was saved. He totally fixed my shoulder. He just healed me from the inside out. Basically after, an injury like this, I was pretty shooken up, and then not expecting it, taking a chance and doing PohakuHealing, ended up getting it healed, and it was amazing. I feel free. I can do anything now. The PohakuHealing took about 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, at first it was really painful when he was doing the healing, but then immediate relief came, and he had me stretch it out, and I was in tears when he did it. After he did it, I was in tears because it was just such a sense of relief. I could lift it all the way over my head and bend it all the way back where I could never have done it before.
My face right now just is alive. I mean, it feels 20 years younger at least. I don't know how to describe it other than it's really energized.
One of the most profound things I've experienced with Daniel's work is that after I gave birth to my baby girl, I was not able to have sensation in my big toe, the tip of my big toe. It started out on my left big toe, and then I started to notice it on my right big toe as well. It was going numb. And just after that first session, Daniel found this point in my hip that works with the sciatic nerve, and sure enough, the sensation and feeling in my toe came back.
I was pretty tired of the trial and error of going to Body Workers, and sometimes you get what you paid for, and most of the time you just get kind of a fun experience that was not really a healing. And then recently I taught my girlfriend how to do it, and she's not a body worker, but she picked it up like that and was able to work on me as effective as Daniel for the most part, except that she didn't have the anatomy experience, so it wasn't as comprehensive on all my tissues. It's such a simple treatment that I can direct her, and she was quickly able to see how in hitting me with the rock she could find my tight spots just by watching my tissues ripple, and so she was quickly able to zero in on them, whereas a regular massage therapist who's been trained and certified, and they're just kind of using their hands, they're kind of fishing in the dark. They don't know where my tight spots are.
And when I hit these spots, as you can see, it's going to roll all the way through, and see his face expressing pain and anguish, because as I'm tapping, it releases, or it actually will show where those muscles are that hurt, as he shows the same expression on his face. And then that shows me the line that I travel, and he's in the same pain going all the way up practically, and then you release the tissue.
I've had a lot of treatments where they kind of work around it, and then they pass over the spot that I really want them to, and I'm trying to tell them no over there, but they get a little uptight because they don't want me telling them how to do it. And so it was great to be able to just teach my girlfriend how to do it, and now she can just go and just do right what I want her to do, and in 10 minutes, a day, 5 minutes a day, just makes a huge difference.
Boy, that was an amazing shot for me. I have not been able to go that far back on a backswing or have that good a follow through I don't remember when I last was able to hit with that much fluid movement in my ball striking. It's just amazing. I mean, I cranked way back on that and came through and followed way through, and that felt wonderful, wonderful. And I like the way the ball went too. That was a long way for me.
What's interesting is yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of going to the doctors. April 29th, 07. They had put me on the program, Every Woman Counts breast cancer program in California. And that was so depressing because basically your life is over. They had me non-weight bearing, put me on a walker because the way the cancer had spread. And I just knew chemo and radiation were not for me. They kept pushing, and it's like you have to run away to save your life. And I tried a lot of different things. I've managed to stay alive since '99, since I've had the breast cancer. And I just knew I had to come to Hawaii, so I told my mom we had to come here. And the depressing part was I was never able to get into the water without the walker. And I'd get so exhausted hopping into the water. One day a friend of ours took us to this beach, and they helped me get down to the water. Mom on one side, my friend Murphy on the other side. And then all of a sudden my friend came to me and says, this guy thinks he can help you. So I spoke to Daniel of PohakuHealing and told him what was going on. And he says, would you like a treatment? And I says, well, heck yeah, I want a treatment. You know, who wouldn't? So he said, lay down. So I laid down, and he started doing some stone treatment on my body, and it hurt like heck, but I thought I'm willing to do anything. So when he got done, he took the walker away and he goes, get up. And I just couldn't believe I was able to have stability. For the first time in a long time, I was stable. And that was huge. The first treatment that I had received with PohakuHealing was about a half an hour to 40 minutes. How I felt after the treatment the first day was I was in shock that I could stand up and walk. After that, the second day, there was like a little bit of discomfort, but it was way less than what it was prior, significantly reduced. I had to go back home to Northern California. My mom had to go back also, so we flew home, and we had tickets, we had to use them. Went home, and it was like so depressing because I didn't have the mobility that I had of the water and of the PohakuHealing. Something inside kept saying, I've got to come back, and I put it out there to God. Lord, I've got to come back and finish this up. I want to be totally without the walker, and I knew it would happen. Girlfriend called me, I had the use of her condo. Here I am, I'm back with Daniel, and I'm able to walk this time without the walker at all. Last Saturday, a friend of mine, I was at his house, we put the music on, and I was able to salsa on my leg for over 2 hours. That is huge, huge. So all I know is the PohakuHealing worked for me. I believe it can work for a lot of people that have these issues, because basically you're given a death sentence. They wanted to put a new hip in my leg. I knew I didn't need the hip. I knew something was there. And look, PohakuHealing, what a gift.
If you have a good heart and a good spirit, and you have pure intentions, and are very driven, you can actually do wonderful things. And especially with healing, because healing goes beyond just who you heal. It is the person that heals you too, and the relationship that you have with that person. So it's a sharing. It's a sharing of Daniel to whomever he heals and touches, and it's reciprocal. And in the in-between, you have the Pohaku, which is almost transferring that as well. So this is a critical, when we talk of PohakuHealing, it's critical that we respect the essence of Pohaku, and we treat it with that respect. And I believe Daniel does that.
So there you have it, PohakuHealing. I hope you like watching the show. Thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to learn this, I'm going to give away a free workshop to anyone who wants to learn it. So please feel free to call or email me. Thank you very much, and aloha.